Hello everybody. So earlier this year, Mrs. S and I decided to go on the holiday of a lifetime. 2 months in New Zealand and Australia in a camper van. We planned and did 2 weeks in North Island and 4 in South Island in New Zealand before heading off to Oz for a final 2 weeks. We flew from Manchester to Auckland via Dubai and spent 2 nights there to recover from the flight, as it seemed very long. Then picked up the van from Maui, the rental company in Auckland. Enjoy the video. So the journey from Auckland to Whangarei took maybe 4 to 5 hours with a few stops, and then we arrived at our first campsite, which was pretty good actually. Top 10 campsites, which is a franchise throughout the whole of New Zealand. The next morning, we then drove the 2 hours or so journey from Whangarei to Pahia in the north, where we stayed at another top 10 site, which was idyllic, right on the side of an inlet. Absolutely superb. After we settled in at the campsite, then we went for a quick walk, or supposedly quick walk, along the coastline northwards, and met up with an English couple on a beach who'd lived there for 20 years, and they suggested we go for a quick drink, which ended up being many pints and lots of food and a staggering back to the campsite. Great night. The next day, we drove south past Auckland again to stay with an old army colleague, Ganin Ormsby, in the town of Ngarua Wahia, east of Hamilton.
Come on. Oh, yes, good.
We were really humbled by the amazing Maori hospitality shown by Ganin and his wife Nanaya and their children. We learnt a great deal about the tradition and customs of the Maori people, and we would like to thank them both very sincerely. Unfortunately, I didn't take many photos. The next day, we left Ganin's, stocked up with supplies graciously given by Nanaya to the Lord of the Rings Hobbiton set. But unfortunately, as it was Chinese New Year, we didn't have a chance to visit the set itself, as it was packed with busloads of Chinese tourists together with their Sony, Nikon cameras. Never mind, so we went on to our next stop at Blue Lake Top 10 site, just east of Rotorua. After a very lovely dinner in Rotorua with Ganin and Nanaya, The next day we went to the Maori Centre in the town, which was absolutely amazing. Well worth a visit when you're in Rotorua.
We used to play in the certain areas of the mud, but as you can see from the temperature all goes. Stick together, we're going to go over to our hot box. Developed tōtara tree, and that goes throughout the north and south island of our country. So our students will learn about the uses of these different timbers. For instance, this tōtara, perfect for things like our pattern boards and carving.
In the afternoon, we took a taxi into Rotorua and spent a couple of hours in Waiariki hot springs, complete with saunas, hot pools and mud baths. An amazing gift from Nanaya. Again, a heartfelt thank you. And after that then, we met up with another old army buddy, Terry Cruz, who has lived in New Zealand for a long time, for dinner, and relived old times. It was absolutely fantastic to catch up after so many years. The next morning, we drove the shortest distance through some picturesque scenery to Taupo, where we spent the morning wandering around the town, which is situated on the beautiful Lake Taupo. After not finding anywhere to stay in the town, such as municipal car parks, we headed off and did our one and only wild camping stop on the whole trip. Complete freedom on the lakeshore with a fantastic view. We went for a dip in the lake both in the evening and the next morning, and this is what it's all about. After our relaxing wild camping at Lake Taupo, we then drove south to Whakapopa village in Tongariro National Park in the shadow of two large volcanoes. After settling in then, we went for a walk to Silica Rapids through some beautiful scenery. And then after that, we walked to the Scotell Hotel nearby for dinner and a beer, where we sat and watched the sun go down in the shadow of volcanoes. The next day, we hiked up to Tama Lakes, a 7-hour round trip through rolling countryside and rocky hills. We We stopped off at Taranaki Falls, where many turn round, and continued along the gravel track to the trig point near the second lake. After returning via the same route then, we went straight to the Scotel for a beer and scoff before heading off for a shower and bed. Say hi.
Hi. Get the chills away quickly, don't you? Did it. She falls.
What?
Nothing.
The next move was to Palmerston North to meet up with another old army buddy. But on the way, we stopped at the New Zealand Army Museum at Waiouru as we chanced upon it on the route. But after about an hour looking around what is actually a fantastic museum, we then continued on our way south. So when we left the museum, we drove the rest of the way down to Palmerston North to stay with the Charminator, John and Laura Charman and their girls. And John's mum and dad were actually there at the time. So we had a great day. We had to stay in the van outside, but that's absolutely superb. But as soon as we got there, then we jumped in John's pickup and drove down to Foxton Beach, where you can see from the video that you drive on the beach, the tide comes in, people, loads of guys fishing. What a fantastic place. You know, really good. Weather was fantastic.
Foxton Beach.
Foxton Beach, yeah.
Do you have high tide?
Yeah, this is low tide.
Yeah. So you need to get it right to be able to get boats out here. Yeah.
Do you ever get stuck? People ever get stuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, we pushed a couple of people out.
Same as Canada. It's like so if I was to choose a car.
The last day then in North Island, we drove from Palmerston North, from John's place, down to Wellington along the west coast, not that far of a drive really, and stayed in a motel where we could park our van outside and stayed there for one night. Then we took an Uber into town and went to the National Museum, where there is a Gallipoli exhibition going on, which is well worth a visit. I mean, you must go and see that, it's fantastic. And then we went out for dinner and went back to the hotel and waited for our ferry the next morning to go to South Island. So as you can see from the map, we spent 2 weeks driving around North Island, starting at Auckland. We firstly went north and then we came back down through Auckland to near Hamilton, across the Rotorua, then south to Taupo, and then to the volcanic area, and then down south to Palmerston North and finally Wellington, staying most times 2 nights at each site, and it was absolutely fantastic. Now the next video will be 4 weeks in South Island, which we really enjoyed, so that's going to take me a long time. So if you're really interested in this, just make a comment below, subscribe, etc., and I'll see you shortly.